Welcome in, everybody. If you're tuning in and you are watching this as the update or the live is uploaded, I want to thank you for tuning in. Just give me less than 2 minutes, as I always say, so that I can do what I need to do, set this up appropriately. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Yes, XRP is under pressure, but today the Fed paused, so we really need to get into that as well. So I don't have it in the title because I want to focus on XRP as well, but the Fed did pause. I'll talk about that in my later update tonight. But with the news going on, I did not cover that live this month as we have more important things to talk about. But it's still, we expected either a pause or 25 basis points, so we're not surprised at all. I think the surprising thing for some people is that crypto did not pump right out the gate. But I'll show everybody exactly what's going on. Exactly what's going on. All right, so that looks good. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. As you know, we've had a lot of news today. Let me just pull up this so I can see everybody who's talking. Then we're going to get into this real quickly here today. Real quickly. I don't know who's in here as of yet, but here we go. Good mid-afternoon, 3:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday, June 14th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So, as we know, XRP's fallen under a lot of pressure. We're down around the 50-cent mark. What I will say right off the bat is XRP did actually get good news today, believe it or not. Within the 8 pages that came out, it showed that XRP back in 2019 on April 8th was determined that it was not a security because it didn't beat the basic principles of the Howey test. So they've had that information. So that's something discerning. But you can look at my past live so you can get that information and watch as we broke it down together this morning. But with the XRP price action, we really need to pay attention to that 46-cent level if we do break the 50-cent psychological level, as that is where the neckline is on this inverted head and shoulders. So that's going to be something of substance here that we have to talk about on this live. And then also within this 25 or 30 minutes, we're going to get into the Fed rate hike as they did pause for this month. No 25 basis points. They did pause, but they said to expect more down the road. This is a complete disaster, the fact that they paused where interest rates are at. The fact that it's not, our interest rates are not sufficient yet. So what they're doing is they're going to cause us to go into a depression. Maybe not, it's going to be bad. They're going to cause us to go into hyperinflation. And this is not what I wanted to see today. I didn't want to see a pause. I anticipated likely a pause, maybe 25 basis points at worst, but I certainly would have rather seen 25 basis points. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. So for anybody who didn't see the news, we'll just cover that real quick. So here's everything that we need to know with the Fed. So we'll just go to CNN. The latest on the markets after the Fed announced the pause. Here, let me bring this up so everybody can see me. And then I would like to acknowledge everybody who's here. Wow, 43 people here already. 23 likes. Make sure to hit that like button as it will help push me through the analytics. And not just that, it shows your appreciation for the work I do, which is the greatest joy of all. So I appreciate everybody tuning in on this Wednesday afternoon at 3:36 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let's, real quickly, let's watch this about the Fed together. We'll get through this, we'll get through the little advertisement together, but we're going to get into this because I'd rather you hear what they have to say. It's only about 3.5 minutes long, roughly. But it is actually some good information. And then you won't have to listen to me for so long. Let me say hi to everybody real quick. Well, I'll set it up so I can say hi to everybody when this video ends. How about that? 2 more seconds and we'll get into this video.
America's Federal Reserve Board meets on Tuesday with a key decision to make about interest rates.
Oh, this is the old one. Well, what good is this doing us? We want to see the new one. That's fine. We'll just go to NBC News. And now I'm going to have to read it. I apologize. I'm going to have to read it. Okay. So, Federal Reserve holds key rate at 5% as it evaluates state of the economy following lower inflation readings. So now is this going to be the actual?
I know, it's econ speak. It's econ speak. But look,
Here we
Powell
go.
does have a tendency to try to the extent he can, translate it for the regular American people. Maybe he's going to describe a little bit more in detail what types of things that they're looking for as the inflation number came in yesterday. 4% on a yearly rate. We know that's lower than the 9% that we saw last year. But you talk to Americans, they're still feeling it at the store, right? So for them, the Fed wants to get there somewhere closer to 2%. It's not mission
Never going to
accomplished.
happen.
How does the Fed square those two things with not further raising interest rates, but also continuing to face uncomfortable inflation? That's something we'll have to watch for.
All right. Well, thank you for translating it for us.
I promise I'm not making fun of economists. I
No, not at
appreciate
all.
you all.
Can we actually get to the information here?
Public bank, the Federal Reserve saying the U.S. banking system is sound and resilient. So again, the Federal Reserve holding interest rates steady for those that are.
Okay. This is where we want to go to. I don't want to watch this whole thing because I am careful.
Essentially near over 50-year lows, and they did talk about the banking system as well. We know there were some jitters with the skip of some sort, and actually economic projections that came alongside this Fed meeting suggest that they could potentially hike another once or twice this year. We'll have to see whether or not they follow through on that in the remaining meetings. But in the statement, they described the economy as expanding at a modest pace. They said that job gains have been robust, as we saw that jobs report not long ago showing unemployment essentially near over 50-year lows. And they did talk about the banking system as well. We know there were some jitters with the failures of Silicon Valley Bank and also First Republic Bank, the Federal Reserve saying the U.S. banking system is sound and resilient. So again, the Federal Reserve holding interest rates steady. For those that are wondering, what does this mean for my mortgage or my car loan?
So I was just going to ask you, for all the regular folks out there who want to buy a house this summer or whatever, what does this mean?
It's not an interest rate cut. So for that reason, interest rates are still high. So you should not expect to see a precipitous drop in 30-year fixed mortgage borrowing rates, for example. Don't expect to see 3% anytime soon.
And of course, we also know Fed Chair Jerome Powell is expected to speak today. Of course, investors are listening to every pause, every word that he's saying.
Okay, so that's all I wanted to look at that because I honestly, that is what it is. So now we got to get into XRP. We know we paused, yada, 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 but now we got to get into XRP. I just wanted everybody to get the backstory, so let me say hi real quickly to everybody who's tuning in, as it's an honor and a privilege to be here again for the second time today in the live. So welcome in Devin, welcome in Nick, Ron's Aviation Channel, welcome. JW, driving but listening, be safe on the road, my friend. Darren, welcome in another live. Yep, we got to do this daily live at 2. Well, this one's 3:30. Andy, welcome in. True, welcome in. Jokum, thanks for this update. No problem. You guys are all welcome. Give it till this weekend, Eric. Well, it's possible. We're just waiting for the standard operating procedure here, as we like to say. So we're going to break it down by level. Just the reason I came on live is, again, we can touch point on the XRP chart. What's changed from yesterday is we fell outside of that formation, and now we're looking for a rejection. Even if it's a double rejection up here, we got one. We're starting to move back up. If we get a second rejection at 508 now, though, as you can see, it looks like it might have put in a minor bull flag here, a very small one, that if it does push up, it might bring us up. But now that the Fed paused, too, this is the thing. The Fed paused. We know that for sure. I mean, it shouldn't be that great of news because they didn't cut interest rates. But you know how the markets react. You know the government likes to prop things up. So we're going to see exactly what the pause does for XRP. Right now, it looks like it started breaking down, and this looks like it could be in a falling channel style. Or maybe even a descending triangle that's actually formed here all of a sudden. Hold on. See if we can get something out of this. It's going to be hard, though, to do it in the 30 like that. I still think there's something to watch for here in the smaller part. You know, I don't want to really confuse it, but definitely we're getting some action like this for sure. We're definitely getting some action like that. And even more if we bring it across. Yeah, see, this short-term pattern is starting to reveal itself now. Big time. We can even say that's an overextension of that wick right there. Do something like this in the 30. Something like that. So that's this little, so that's a bear flag descending triangle that could be forming. I don't think that's technically a falling channel because that looks like a descending triangle. Downtrending resistance, downtrending support. That looks like a prototypical bear flag is forming. If this dumps out and we lose that 494, this is how you come down to that 46 cent mark. and retest that inverted head and shoulders part of the pattern. If we come down and retest this inverted head and shoulders, that's the neckline down here at 46 cents. You could say 482, but I still think if you're coming through here, the inverted head, the shoulders are here. I think the neckline at 46 cents is a good interpretation. And then if we were to come down and get rejected on the bottom side of that, that's a big problem. So right now, I don't want to like, you know, the urgency's here. The urgency's here for XRP right now. So XRP, is this putting in a small bull flag in the 30-minute after that drop? We better hope so. Better hope that that's what that was, a little liquidity grab there if you want this to go up. Because right now, XRP, unlike yesterday, now we've fallen through the zone. And if we get rejected up here a second time at that 508, that's a big problem. Not just that, we've created this descending triangle here on this bear flag. So this could be a problem here, a big problem. So pay very close attention. Y'all, absolutely true. It very well could, it could develop some buying courage, that's for sure. It doesn't look like it at the moment, like you're saying, but we'll see. We'll see. Hawkish news today, in my opinion. Jordan, I think that's the misinterpretation that it's hawkish. I mean, it is hawkish in a sense that they paused, but the real hawkishness would have been if they would have cut rates. They just held it pat. That means you continue at a 5%. That means if you're trying to take out a home loan, right now it's somewhere, what, near 7%, if not higher. So, I mean, by pausing it, you can't pause it. If anything, they should have raised it. To me, it's a hawkish by design, but it's still very, I guess it is hawkish. I guess it is hawkish. You know what? I take that back. Who said that? Jordan, I take that back. You know what? It was kind of hawkish. If you look at it in the entirety, it actually was kind of hawkish. Even though they paused, they said that there was still going to be about at least 2 more rate hikes. And they didn't decrease rates, but still. I would have liked to have seen them do something else. I would have liked them not pause. This just, hyperinflation is just in our rearview mirror now. But anyhow, with XRP, I still see this area. We form this little descending triangle here on this bear flag. We need to come down and verify this breakdown if we're going to. Like I always say every day, I'm not going to say it's bullish or bearish. I let the market determine it. Yesterday, it was still somewhat in a bullish setup if it would have kept that formation on this bear or this bull flag. Right now, I'm watching to see if there's a bear trap, a bigger bear trap developing, not just because of XRP being in this formation. And until XRP invalidates that 46 cent spot, we still have to look at this as an inverted head and shoulders. But with Bitcoin, it's Bitcoin that's still bothering me. And I would have loved to have seen XRP come up to the 485 level. I really would. I mean, the 585 level that confirmed that double top. But it just never has so far. So now we have to watch it on this inverted head and shoulders pattern. And to me, the neckline, pay attention on XRP, that 46 cent level is the neckline. That's the inverted head and shoulders neckline. So if it falls back below that, I mean, that's where you get into some real serious trouble with Bitcoin. This is still what's bothering me. And yes, I drew this myself because that's what I do. But I drew this inside of the pattern. That looks like a bull flag until it busts down. Like this could be, like I've been saying, optics. This could be designed as, hey, this looks a little bullish because of what's set up. And then it just breaks on us. To me, Bitcoin, what you need to watch for is first layer 25,194. Once you break past that, you had an old support level that managed to hold after a massive drop back in the pattern, and then it pushed it back up. So that's where the 24,417 comes in. But once Bitcoin breaks that, you have a CME gap at 21,000, and that's going to be an issue. So that's what we're looking at right now. It's almost setting up as, that's an inversion. You got an inverted head and shoulders here as well. And if I wasn't if it wasn't the current environment it's in with all the manipulation, if I was a betting man, I would say it's trying to throw everybody off in a bear trap here. But because of the environment, it could be just doing the opposite, right? It could be throwing us off on these inversions, and then it actually pours it out and they pull the rug. But if you're looking at these patterns logistically, until XRP breaks that 46 cents, and until Bitcoin comes down and breaks 24,417 first layer, and then ultimately comes down below that 21,966, we got a hard time saying that these patterns are just completely over yet. Yes, it's looking a little bearish in the immediate short term, but when you pull it out into the daily, it doesn't look as bad in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still on that massive damn bull flag. So until these invalidate, I would love to say we're going to go cut in half. I would love to say we're about to have a 20% drop. But the bottom line is we've got to break it by level. Otherwise, we're going to get trapped into a certain set, you know, mindset. And this is why I always tell everybody, whether you want it bullish or bearish, take your emotion out. And we've got to look at it for what it is. We're in the immediate short term within down to the daily time frame. We're not looking in the weekly. We're not looking at the monthly. But we're going anywhere from the 30-minute to the daily right now. And in the daily, when you're looking at it, it still has a setup where it could possibly pull up, but still, when you start looking at the finer level, did we not have a bearish cross in the 20, crossing the 50? Now we're about to cross the 100, but we never lost the 200 support. So the pattern's not ready to reverse if you're new to technical analysis until you get that death cross, which would be the 20 cross and the 200. And then that would obviously mean that we lost the 200-day support. And normally when the death cross is happening, you'd get something like this, and I'm not going to delete what I drew on here because I'm going to bring it back out into the wider pattern. But if you had a death cross, this is exactly what would happen. Bitcoin's price action would do this, come to 24,417, come back up, reconfirm rejection at 25,194, allowing time for this to have the death cross, and then it would just cave through. That's how it would play out. So watch for a drop below that and a retest at 24,417 to allow this to continue pushing down. Right now, though, we're still holding the 200-day support in the daily. So we need to bust that. Yes, we've had a bearish cross. Almost a cross in the 100-day now. This is where you can start to see if our pattern's actually setting up for a reversal or if this is where it's consolidating. These are the most tricky times in a pattern. If it breaks up, we're coming up to about 38,000. No, not that far right away. We obviously have to break a few different things, but the technical target is right around, what, 32.8, and then if you break and get on top of that, it's all the way up at 38 to 40. That's if you break up. This pattern very well could continue to reveal itself and just break out of this, but until we break this descending triangle, or the falling channel, I guess some people could call it that, you know, this pattern's not done. And I have a bunch of scribble on here, but it's true. Look how it worked out its way, and now it's just staying within the scribble. Because it's man, this is tough. It's almost like the market is telling you, it's imploring you, it's showing that it's going to drop big time, but yet the formations are the evidence is not suggesting what we're thinking in our heads. The way it feels, the momentum, everything feels like it should dump to me. The only thing that doesn't feel like it should dump is the inverted head and shoulders pattern that we're sitting on. That's between that and the descending triangle on XRP or Bitcoin, or the bull flag, and then on XRP, the short-term descending triangle makes it look like it wants to dump out. But the greater pattern, we have the inversion that we have to bust out of. And until we break the inverted head and shoulders pattern, we can't come down and break this. That's the problem. We've got to do this in symmetry. We're going to have to break and hold a 46-cent drop on XRP so we can start busting that neckline. And on Bitcoin, we're going to have to start busting the 24,412. I know it's not sexy. I know these kind of lives are not like, oh my God, it's awesome. This is just the information, folks. Sometimes you just got to give it straight. And that's what I'm seeing on the charts. Any questions, concerns, anything you'd like to add? Anything you would like to tell me I'm missing? 53 people watching, 45 likes. That's tremendous. If you'd like to support my work, join Tom's Army. I do all this for free. And I thank everybody who's part of Tom's Army who allows me to do this without paid promotions. One day it is my greatest vision that more people in here will be part of Tom's Army. Tom got an ice cream truck behind him. Yes, I do, and if I wasn't on, I would have probably went and got one. Derek, welcome in, Derek. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, 46 cents definitely looks like it might play out. It might. It might. It sure is. That's the problem, Derek. And that's what we're waiting for, standing operating procedure here. Now it almost looks like, because we've broken down a little bit here. And we don't want to be on the bottom side of this newly formed descending triangle here, that's for sure. But, you know, we haven't got the full rejection yet. We got to do it in standard operating procedure here. The combined doesn't look good. Terry, greater chance of economic hardship, liquidity will get squeezed in risk assets. Absolutely. It very well could. Very well could provide some liquidity. That's the more likely, you're right. Yep. Derek Plaza, 46. Tom Ice. Sean Gruthers, welcome in, my main man from Maine. Showstoppers, add another like to that, boss. I appreciate that. Your channel is going to blow up even more soon. Alan, if it does, it does. I'm not sure if it's going to blow up soon or not. I'm just blessed to have 16,400 plus subscribers here so far in the first couple years of the journey. I will say that. I'm blessed to have the fact that we have a dedicated audience, the fact we're choosing positivity over negativity, and the fact that we're bringing the spirit back into this. Bring the Lord. We got to bring the togetherness. But look, with XRP, I'll tell you this before I leave, because my voice is a little sore, but I don't want to leave just yet, because I still feel like we have some, don't confuse short-term and longer-term outlook. I like your analysis potential. Upside, short-term, and then down, long-term. Yep. That's what I do, Terry. I'm showing the short and long-term. Right now, the immediate short-term, we're just focused on these pattern formations. And I'm going to continue to beat a dead horse because we still had that bounce on the, everybody calls it something different, the ascending triangle. I don't even think it's a descending triangle, but some people want to, dictate what things are. So the triangle breakout, you put the inverted head in. Until we break down, we'll beat a dead horse. This pattern is still in the immediate short term bullish until it invalidates this. The more immediate short term, the shortest of short term in the smaller time frames, yes, it's more bearish, obviously. And now we're having these bearish crosses. I can almost guarantee in the 2 or 1 hour we've had a death cross now, the 1 hour. So these patterns are going to have to start moving. So in the 2 hour, we're getting very close. The 2 hours where you look, if we get that death cross in the 2 hour, we're looking, that's why it probably will come up for a rejection at the 508 one more time, or 51 cent. Maybe an over push up to like 513 or 515, but that very well could just play as a little bit of a trap if it comes up that high. It's not looking great right now in the immediate short term. As far as being in this descending triangle pattern, and if we bring it down into like the 30-minute, would be easier to see. But this pattern that formed on this bear flag that dropped out of here, this is what is concerning right now. We dropped out of here, so what formed on like June 13th has now turned into a bear flag and a descending triangle here. So that's not a good sign. Now, some people will say, well, sometimes it's technically a bullish reversal. It absolutely can be. But we can't lose the 494 in this situation. Well, especially the 482 overextension. But you really don't want to lose 494. Roger, welcome to Tom's Army. Really? Holy smokes. Thank you so much, Roger. That's the greatest gift of all. I greatly appreciate that. I mean, it really does support my work. And because of you guys who are in Tom's Army, and this is no joke, the ones who are in Tom's Army, does anybody ever wonder why my channel has no paid promotions, no paid advertising? I don't have any sponsored. I don't do anything like that. The members of Tom's Army. That's it. You guys are the real MVPs. Bottom line. Would you say XRP has formed an expanding triangle on the 4 hourly? I mean, if you want to look at it that way, I mean, we can draw it out. I mean, an expanding triangle, you could. You could certainly say it's done something like this, but that's more of a falling channel if you do something like that. I kind of think, you know what? I wasn't really looking at it that way. If you take out that overextension there, and the overextension on the bottom, and you kind of do this, that's pretty interesting. That's an interesting pattern, and that brings us down to our 44 cent, must hold area too. That is a very interesting way to look at this. What about like that? We could have started a falling channel. You know what? Whoever said that, I'll reverse it up if it hits 5075 knows. Well, if you want to look at it like this, I suppose you could do that in the 4 hourly. You could say that we've started some kind of falling channel pattern. So if we look at it that way, this opens it up big time, actually. That expands us down to that 46 cent range at the bottom of that inverted head and shoulders, or which is the neckline. That's perfect because that brings us right into there. So 1, 2, 3 hits of support. 1, 2, 3 times resisted. That confirms the pattern. Whoever said that, yep, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, thank you. That's the bullish structure all the way down to 46 cents. Who commented that? 2 people in a row. With the upper line channel going up. Yeah, you want to go up. I understand what you're saying. But we got to break out of this little area first. On the wider gap, yeah. On the wider gap. I want to keep it a little bit smaller, though, Alan, in this little pattern. Because this pattern setup right here is actually a bullish reversal. If it bounces off of 46 cents on this kind of channel look. These falling channels are technically reversals when they get down there. Yep. Clear rising channel on the daily, Derek. Absolutely. Dude, I'm telling you guys, this doesn't seem right. The more we talk about this, like we've been saying, this seems like it's going to go up before this pattern's ready to crack. I think everything we've seen, this looks like, more likely than not, even if it comes down to 46 cents, it might have to just come down here. Hold that just to bounce out. That could be your liquidity dump here. Just to hold and then push out. I appreciate all the feedback. I really do. We're 26 minutes in. My voice is sore, everybody. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. The 50-plus people that have been here. The new member of Tom's Army. Yes, if it breaks below the channel, here's the last thing. Since Derek, if it breaks below this channel, we've already got this set up, everybody. If we break below, and I'm going to continue to say this, this is the 2021 uptrend, right around where Derek's talking about, the 36 cents, 35.94 or whatever it is now if it breaks down. This is the 21 channel. If XRP breaks that, that's how you have a 45% drop down to the 2019 or 2017 uptrend, right around 19.6. So that is where I'm going to leave it. I appreciate everybody. I'll catch you in tonight's update, and then I'll see you tomorrow live. I really appreciate all of that. On uptrend from first. Yeah, Derek, I've got them all over the place here. I've got uptrend starting there as well. I could go over all the charts, but yeah, listen to what Derek's saying. It does look like a little bit. It does look like a microphone. Jan, I appreciate you tuning in. Right at the end. No, nobody's getting the alerts. Sorry, I'm shadow banned on YouTube. I can't help it. Can't help it. That's why it's a miracle each and every one of you get in here every day. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in, honestly. And Derek, one day soon we will have a great collab. Stay blessed, everybody.